Good morning. We are live. I couldn't quite get my phone to go live, or my computer to go live this morning, so a little late coming in, but good morning. Happy New Year. 2021. It's going to be awesome, right? It's going to be awesome because we're going to make it awesome. These things don't happen by chance. I'm here as a coach. What I do is teach people how to cultivate yourself, how to be your own best farmer, how to take care of yourself the way that we would take care of our animals, be they pets or farm animals, our soils, our gardens, or even our house plants. If you have house plants, you take good care of your house plants. You need to take good care of yourself. So, which means that we do in my course part of what we're doing here today, where we're going to set goals, and then I give you accountability support, but also the tools and the training to get there, because that's the whole point. It gets really discouraging. I mean, who's given up on resolutions long time ago? We're going to talk today about setting commitments instead of resolutions. In the course, and this is a little bit of what you're going to get today, we hack the system so that you don't end up with resolutions, you end up with results. When we hack the system, we deal with a trifecta of things that basically are how you get to where you're going to go. That has to do with your daily practices, your beliefs, and your identity, or how you see yourself. If you ended the question or the statement, I am a person who, how you end that has a lot to do with how you live your life out. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you today a few ways to hack the system so that you can get results in 2021, not just resolutions that float away over time. Your choices write the future. Your present is a reflection of the things that you've committed your resources to. Whether you like those results or not, they are a measure of what you've committed to. Your choices write your future. Your future's not just a matter of chance. Not really. When you know the results you want and you commit yourself to them 100%, you'll achieve it despite COVID, despite your past, despite other people, despite your personality. If it was personality bound, I wouldn't be here, because a year ago this scared the pants off me to go live. But here I am, and I do these because I committed myself to bringing this information and bringing this to people, and I've got the result. I'm here. So no matter what it is, your choices write the future, and what you commit to tells you what you really want, your results. So, but we're going to walk through a process today that'll help you clarify your desired results, aka your goals. We're going to refine it down to the thing that'll motivate you and help you to get to the bottom line that you really, really want. What do I mean by results? Look around you. Your weight, your income, the condition of your home, your bank account, your job, these are your results, your life. You might like them, you might not, but they're your results. They're yours. Ownership is a key here. Own it. If you want to blame your past, other people, your personality, or whatever for where you're at, you probably can go do something else now. If you're ready to really own it, though, and take command of those results so that you can change them, let's do it. You're in the right place. When you can own your future, that's how you put on your ruby slippers I told you this was going to have something to do with Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz, right? You take back the power to create your future. You're made in the image of the Creator, and that means that you have a great deal of creative power and that you can actually create your future and create what happens. Remember Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz? Yes? I'm going to show you how this works. She's going to show you how this works. When you clarify what you really, really want, a few things happen. One is that you get honest. You get real with yourself. Because if you don't believe it, you won't commit yourself to it. Be transparent. Be brutally honest with yourself. Do you really want this, or do you really want something else? Sometimes when you say, I want to lose weight, go down through why. Well, so I can move better. Why? So I can go do things with my kids. Now you're getting down to what you really, really want and what really, really motivates you. Dorothy's journey helped her realize what was really, really important to her, right? She wanted to leave home. She discovered in the process of her journey, maybe not so much. I really want those people. How you see yourself is going to shift. I told you that identity and how you see yourself is part of how you build your life. But it's actually quite malleable. You can shift how you see yourself. And when you commit yourself to a different result than what you have now, you're going to end that statement, I'm a person who, differently. And it's going to be someone who has that result. That's how it works. But then you get it. And you get there. Who you will be, not do, which is where a lot of our resolutions run into trouble. Not necessarily do, but be is of more concern than who you are right at this moment. Your future self is what you're after. So you don't have to spend a lot of time wondering, well, who am I? That's the message from the Cowardly Lion, the Tin Man, and the Scarecrow. They were all concerned, oh, I don't have courage. I don't have a brain. If I only had a brain. They already had them. And their process of saying, this is what I want, and then pursuing it, committed 100%, they changed who they saw themselves as and found it. They got the result they wanted. But it had a shift of, I'm no longer a cowardly lion. I'm no longer a man without a brain. So the third thing, getting honest, how you see yourself will shift your identity. You're going to get motivated because now you know what it really is that you want. And you're going to have one thing, one or two. That's it. That's all you can really focus on and achieve at one time. So if you have a huge list, start asking yourself why and getting down to the bottom line. When you really commit yourself to getting a result and you're really focused on it, you're going to be motivated to brave scary forests, poppy fields, and wicked witches to get your result. You're going to be motivated, and you're going to find it within you to get to that result. You're going to find that things happen around you that help you get to that result because you've committed yourself to it and put it out there to the universe that this is what you want. Fourth thing, you're going to be required to do something. Results don't magically happen. There wasn't a magic wand that got Dorothy back to Kansas. She had to know what she wanted, commit herself to it, and in the process, she found that she had the power all the time in her ruby slippers. But she had to do something. Smaller, lesser goals fall off. When you commit yourself to one thing or two things, it helps you resist distraction. Instead of having shiny object syndrome where you go after, oh, well, I think I really want to do this, or I'll do this on the side. All of those fall off. You may have to invest time, money, energy, effort to reach your result. They went on a really long walk and they did a lot of stuff to discover they had the power and to get to the result that they wanted. It may mean you have to do things that you've never done before. Dorothy had never been in a strange place with a talking lion, taken on a wicked witch, even though Elmira Gulch was tempting. But she did it. She did the things that she needed to do to get to her result because she was committed to it. She knew what she wanted to do. Faith is being sure of what you hope for, confident of what you do not see. When you commit to results, one or two results, and you have a future vision of your being, you strengthen your faith muscle. It's a muscle. It needs exercise. I believe that when you have a vision for a better future, it is a divinely given vision. It's a life-affirming vision. And anything that is about building life is about the divine. Faith is required anytime you commit to something that's bigger than yourself, to your potential. And you can rely on your Creator then to help you. When you set these intentions, when you do the things that we're going to do in a minute, because doing is part of everything, right? You enlist that help. And you are lining yourself with a divine vision of your potential and who you can be, which is a beautiful place to be. So, remember how Dorothy left Oz? Glenda told her she'd had the power all along. The ruby slippers. Your ruby slippers are in your mind. That's where it really was, right? Dorothy committed herself to getting a result that she wanted. I want to go home. She knew one thing and one thing only. Committed herself to it. She did what she had to do. She didn't get distracted by lesser things. She went for it. And she discovered that she had the power all the time to get the results that she wanted. So, your ruby slippers come from clarifying and committing to one future, one vision of who you're going to be. I'm going to walk you through that in a moment. And then be public about your future self. Share this with someone. In the Abundant Living course, the Habits course community, that's what we do with each session. So we do that not quarterly, 3 times a year. We set this future vision for what we want for, 3 short months, maybe longer sometimes. We do it publicly. We share it with each other. This does a couple things. It helps train your brain to the perspective of your new norm, because your brain has a vision of what you've always been, what you've always done. It's gotten you this far, right? It ought to keep working, but it's not going to. If you want a different result than the one you have right now, you have to change that future vision. So we got to train your brain to go along with it. That's what we do. We share it with each other so that you can train your brain and help hone your focus. This is where you need a pen and paper. So go ahead and grab them and then sit for a minute. Close your eyes. I want you to imagine the results that you want, the future that you want in 6 months or 12 months. Sometimes it's hard to see out 6 months. When I first started this process, I had a hard time seeing out to the end of the month, let alone 6 months. But imagine your wildest dreams. What results do you want? Your future self that has those results. Write down 3 words. 3 words for how that person feels physically. We're going to go through this quickly so you can always loop back to it. Now 3 words for how that person thinks. How is that person mentally? And lastly, 3 words for how that person is emotionally. How does that person feel? Body, mind, spirit. Describe that future self with 3 words for each thing. Now, if you want, you can add any other details. When you picture that future person, what are some other results that that person has when they have these feelings in their body, mind, and spirit? It might be job related, income, relationships. This is the result that you want. Are you willing to commit to that result? What investments will you make to get the results that you said you wanted there? This is your future self. This is not unattainable. I promise, I guarantee it. I have to give credit for a good share of this information, one of my major resources on this, to Dr. Benjamin Hardy. And he talks a lot about this. I have also seen this in my groups, in my course, when we've guided people. I've given you the skills. Remember, we talked about habits, identity, and beliefs as the trifecta of how you get your results. Whether you like them or not, that's the trifecta of things. So this, what we've just done, is a big part of the identity. You may even change your beliefs. For example, a belief that I have to work hard. I don't have enough money to go on a vacation. I'd love to go on a vacation. I don't have enough money to go on a vacation. That's a belief. You believe that there's not enough. What if you believed, I have enough to go on a weekend vacation? Maybe not to the Bahamas yet, but I have enough to go for a weekend vacation. I can do that. You believe all of a sudden that you have enough. You changed your belief. So that's an example of how those come together. And all of a sudden you have become a person who can take vacations instead of a person who doesn't have enough to relax. I've seen it over and over. How, though, are you going to bridge the gap from now to then? It's going to take faith and it's going to take courage. When you commit to the point that you will try and fail and try again because you're committed to your result, you build confidence. You will have peak experiences that help you to grow and expand into that person. Kind of like when your kids are growing and you buy them shoes that are half size too big because you know they're going to grow into them. You now have a vision of ruby slippers that are a size bigger, and you're going to grow and expand into it. And you become more vibrant and alive. Being alive is what it's all about here, right? Being alive. And this will help get your being alive. I promise. I've done it, and I've seen a lot of people in my courses do it. So we talked about habits as one of them. Your self-care routines have a huge role to play in how this all happens. One of the quickest hacks is how you start and end your day, because that's when you're best able to train your brain, because your body, mind, and spirit are really close. They're really malleable at the start and end of your day. You can program things at that point. So, right, the first tip is to end your day with purpose. Take time to wind down. Shut the phone off. The phone is the enemy sometimes. Give yourself time to take some quiet time to review your day and plan for tomorrow. Thomas Edison, talked about making requests to your subconscious. The exact quote is closer to go to bed with a request to your subconscious. Take some time to review your day, to review your goals. What motivates you? What are those results that you want? Have 1 to 3 things to work on the next day. So establish your purpose for the next day. That's how you are programming your subconscious so that it sees the possibilities of what can happen. It opens your vision. And it's not hard. Take 10 minutes before you go to bed to program your brain. The second tip then is, at the same time, start your day with purpose. Get up in the morning, whatever it takes, get yourself up and out of bed. Get a little movement in. Make sure you drink water. Rehydrate your body after you've been laying there giving off water all day, night. And then set aside 5 to 10 minutes for quiet. Do a devotional. Sit and meditate on it for a little bit. By meditation, I mean just let your mind be still and let your spirit do the talking. Let your spirit be quiet and listen. Just listen. Journal just a little bit. Jot down what comes to mind. It's amazing how that opens your vision again, to go into the day with open vision, to see the possibilities to achieve the results that you want. Do not check your phone. That's shiny object syndrome. That sends your mind off towards lesser goals, lesser things. First thing in the morning, take time to orient yourself to the future you want, the results that you want. Thomas Jefferson, if you want something different, you have to do something you've never done before. Changing habits is hard. Getting new results, especially if, I'm going to be 50 this year. Your brain is already programmed to get you, it's this far. It's gotten you this far. So what you do should be working, right? But the way it works is, if you want something different than what you've got now, if you want different results than what you have, even if it's just little tweaks, you have to do something that you haven't done before. So find the one result you want. What is your vision for the future? And then commit yourself to it. 100%. And then shift your habits to give you space to stay committed. This is abundance. This is what Dorothy found. These are your ruby slippers right there. You have ruby slippers. They're on your feet. They're in your mind right now, like Glenda told Dorothy. And you can do it. This is what we do in the Abundant Living course. We set these goals. We establish your vision for the future. And then we walk through these little habits and all the parts that make it happen. Like, how do you get up in the morning? How do you set yourself up for the next thing and the next thing and growing into that future vision? Plus, you have a coach to guide you, other people to support you and keep you accountable. If you are really ready to rock this, I want to invite you to a transformation conversation with me so that you're really ready to go into 2021. You can really clarify the results you want and make them a wee bit public, just with me anyway, with one person. We'll get down to the nitty-gritty of what's your bottom line. What is going to really motivate you to get there, to be committed? Because sometimes just losing weight, everybody wants to lose weight. But if you know why you want to lose weight and why you want that, now you're getting down to what's going to really motivate you and what's going to really help you when somebody bakes brownies. Because it happens. Yeah. We also have a new session of the course starting in a couple of weeks. I want to invite you to apply. Real dedication means you have to do something you've never done before. You have to invest. You have to do things. If you want to invest in some coaching, guidance, training, and habits, daily habits and routine make all sorts of things possible that were never possible before. I have found that to be true. I'm up here standing here telling you about all this stuff. A few years ago, I didn't have the habits to make a future vision happen. Not until I committed myself to it, invested in it, learned and worked. That future vision is here though. And now I have a new one, a new, bigger, better to grow into. You can too. I invite you to apply, to join us. When you have support around you, when you make these things public, when you wear your ruby slippers out into the world starts to support you to make it happen. If you leave them in your closet, hidden away, and you just admire them from time to time, they don't have as much power. The ruby slippers only have power when they're on your feet and you're walking it day in, day out, and the world is seeing you in your power, in your new self. That's when you move out into it and you grow into those future results that you want. So I invite you to join us. This is the perfect time because we've got a few weeks to work this process, get you ready to really go when we really roll into our next session. I look forward to talking to you. Take some time. Envision your future. What is the potential? What's the possibility? How does that person in the future feel, look, think? Commit yourself to it. 2021 can be awesome no matter what. Your choices make all the difference. Put your ruby slippers on today. Message me. I look forward to talking to you. And under any circumstance, have a wonderful new year.